I think a lot of Elon's purchasing of Twitter has been about that. I mean, Elon has been promoting some pretty. I mean, he's replying
Yeah, he's
with
fucking insane.
emojis to cat turd.
I
I mean,
remember one
at
of his
some
first
point, it's
stories
just
after
like,
he
what the
bought it.
fuck are you?
He fucking retweeted that fucking story about Pelosi's husband got
Right.
attacked by his gay lover or whatever. It's like, bro,
And,
what the
and
fuck are
then
you
he
even
he
saying right now?
eventually deleted it and didn't offer any explanation or anything.
Oh my god.
He's retweeting Medvedev, who's playing his own game in the Kremlin. He's trying to be the badass, talking about America's going to collapse in the next year. We'll nuke the world if we feel like we're losing. And Elon's like retweeting this, like, "Whoa, interesting. I've got to look into this." Like emoji face.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
It's
Like
so
I might be missing something, but I haven't seen that many conservatives lining up to defend Scott Adams after his most recent statements. But Elon responded and said the media is racist,
Right.
and pretty much completely took his side, which I don't think anybody expected him to weigh
Elon
in
is just
such a way.
fucking wild. I don't know. That guy's
But okay, let's throw Scott Adams out there. He's just recently had Dilbert removed from hundreds of newspapers because of his statements about black people hating white people and how white people should react by, completely separating themselves and not trying to help black people at all. What's going through your head when you see that story playing out?
well, he's a bit of a dweeb, and I'm not a fan of Dilbert or Scott Adams. But I'll say this because I have some conflicting feelings about this. The way he defined black identity as a hate group is contemptible and just weird and wrong. That was a
Yeah.
very strange poll of "It's okay to be white," which is a 4chan meme, as you know, is meant to provoke people.
And you can understand why black people would be a little offended by a question that they kind of take as insulting and stupid in the first place.
Right. But I think there's another element to it as well, because I mean, white people have been for a many decades now moving to the suburbs, going to a Christian school for the good schools and things like that. I mean, we have segregated in many ways. Now, obviously, Los Angeles maybe is different, of course.
not that different.
No, it's segregated maybe on a local level.
Yeah.
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 And I've lived in New York City for a while. I definitely get it. You could go to places where you walk across a street and you're in a
You'll still
completely
see
different
fucking
world.
and it drives me crazy. Progressives will get on Twitter and be like, I don't know why you guys are so mean towards homeless people. And it's like, okay, because you've never fucking had a homeless guy screaming at you
I
from
get
right
that
fucking
as well.
behind you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that drives me crazy. They're
And-
very
and
much segregate
even,
themselves sometimes.
You know,
yeah.
Montana has 2 congressmen now, so we have the same amount of congressmen and senators because people are moving in. There's like a big sort going on of a lot of, I guess, red state people from California and Texas moving to Montana. It's just like one example. Segregation is happening, and yet he's kind of like talking about something that maybe shouldn't be talked about and articulating white identity in the worst possible way, which is that blacks want to go kill you or something because of a Pew Research poll. So it's kind of weird. I don't have any sympathy for Scott Adams. I just
I also think, going back to what I said earlier about our brains are bad at parsing information, you got to figure this out too. And I say the same thing for BLM or for racist white people. Like, if blacks wanted to kill white people, you'd be seeing a lot of it. It wouldn't just be like 1 or 2 stories get fucking huge of like the black kid attacking the teacher for the fucking Nintendo Switch or whatever the fuck. I don't know how
Right.
to make this story. Yeah, it wouldn't just be one. You'd be seeing this every single day. Same thing with like if cops really were out there just wanting to indiscriminately murder black people. It wouldn't be like one huge story,
Right.
every couple months. You'd be seeing it out daily, right? Because this is a 330 million person country. You see, there's a ton of people in this country. It's like over 500,000 cops. If there was crazy shit happen, you see it daily. But again, I think for humans, for our brains, it really only takes like 1 to 3 experiences to almost form an immovable stereotype. Like, if you had 3 bad experiences with Chinese people in the course of a year or 2, you're gonna write off like 2 billion people, and that's just a
Sure.
superhuman
But
thing
he's
to do.
not
you know?
even he's not even like a teenager who got beat up by a black guy or something, which is kind of understandable that you would have
Sure.
be racist. He's like a social media dweeb. Who,
He is,
like,
but
read
like,
a
damn, dude.
poll.
Depending
It's
on
just
where you're at on
stupid.
social media, I can understand why you think like fucking people want to murder white people or whatever.
Well,
Because
that's
holy
the
shit, there are
dissident
some
right. The
crazy
dis-
social media bubbles out there.
the
That's
dissident-
not this is right. That's fucking progressives
it's-
saying crazy shit sometimes.
Oh, well, that's true. Progressives will do it, but the dissident right is basically doom porn. I mean, that is their identity. It is promoting videos of black high school students beating up a teacher,
Mhm.
or a white girl who dated a black guy and is now like depicted with black eyes and a child.
I remember in the Trump shit. Do you remember there was that video when Trump was running? I think it was a video of like 6 black people beating up like one. Was it a mentally handicapped white person?
Oh God!
And
yeah.
people were like, "This is gonna happen to Trump people all over the country. Are gonna start getting killed by black people." I was like, "Bro, what the fuck?" Yeah.
But I look, all of these things, there's some factual accuracy to those things, but it's like, what does it tell you psychologically that you're obsessed about it? I mean, have you ever heard the notion of like a man who's obsessed with his wife cheating on him? Even if he's correct, he's still pathological. So what I mean by that is like, if someone figured out that if you're obsessed with this notion, oh, she's looking at every guy, she's going around behind my back and so on, and then you figure out that it is true. Like 2 years ago, she had an affair, in a moment of weakness. Maybe your response to that would be like, well, okay, let's move forward. We can talk about it and so on. But with a pathological person, it's not, it can't be okay. He's got to remain obsessed with it. So the pathology of obsession is there regardless of facts.
We spoke of this about like J.K. Rowling, where it's like, I don't think she necessarily makes the worst statements sometimes about trans stuff. I could definitely see places where I disagree, but god damn, when you're that fucking obsessed with it, it feels like something else is going on, Jesus. Yeah.
The evangelical preacher who's always talking about
gay people and shit. Yeah.
You just know it's not everyone, but you just know that.
Yeah,
he's probably
Jesus.
gay.
Like, gay bad. We get it. We don't need to hear like the 37th fucking sermon on it. Like, Jesus.
Exactly.
Like, tell me you want to take it up the ass without saying you want to take it up the ass. Like, Jesus, dude.
Yo, we just hit 400,000 subscribers right here on the Clips channel. So if you want to help us out, click subscribe, get us to 500K. Yeah.